you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
I'm Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are these things that makes official. Welcome to the big show. As always, we are the oldest living podcast that exists that still publishes 1 to 2 new shows daily. There's nobody else doing that. They might do it every 3 days, every week, but most of them are pretty old and pretty rare. Sometimes they just post once a year. Anyway, guys, help support us. Keep us alive. We live for your love and attention. I was lost asleep at night going, I wish people loved me more. No, I don't. Anyway, guys, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTok and all those crazy places on the net. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Today's featured author comes to us from bookstolifemarketing.co.uk. With expert publishing to strategic marketing, they help authors reach their audience and maximize their book's success. Today we have an amazing young lady on the show. We're going to be talking to her about her books. We're going to lead off with a book that's the second one in her series, and it is entitled Ruby Warriors, Saving Arth by Jaya Carmichael. We're going to get into it with her, find out the deeds, find out the story of her life, and she's written 6 books, so she's pretty darn prolific, and she's got a lot for you to read and buy. So let's get into it with Jaya. Jaya is a retired educator with 27 years of experience nurturing young minds and helping children develop a love for reading. She holds a master's degree in education and is passionate about supporting families as they guide their children's early learning journey. Originally from Malaysia, she brings rich cultural perspective to her storytelling, often weaving themes of friendship, family, bravery, kindness, relationships, love, and family into her work. Now living in Lower Michigan with her husband, a retired Air Force veteran, she's spending time with her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, especially reading out loud and creating meaningful memories together. Welcome to the show, Jay. How are you?
Thank you so much, Chris. I'm so happy to be here. I'm delighted, and your show is pretty big. I was really, really, really thankful that I could be on your show.
Yeah. We've been doing this once or twice. We've done this about 3 times now or so. Over 20 years. Give us a .coms, websites. Where do you want people to get to know you better?
You know what? That is the thing that I didn't do. It's called the author website, and they have written it out as my whole name. Mm-hmm. It's long. It's Jayamani Carmichael. It's at Jayamani, I believe, at author.com.
Okay. We'll have a link for that on the Chris Voss Show so that people can get that. So give us a 30,000 overview. What's inside this book?
Oh, what's inside this book? Oh, boy.
The box.
Yeah. There are 3 wonderful children who've been friends for years. And they spend weekends together. Their parents are good friends. And these kids are really, really good kids and nice to know kind of thing, kids. And they bring with them a whole set of skills or superpowers that they are going to need. And so we learn about those superpowers. Aurora now, she could probably teach leadership skills, good leader. And belief in oneself, because she had experienced that herself. So believing in oneself actually gives you a great deal of confidence.
Yeah.
And I like to remind children all the time, believe in yourself, dream big, and do it. Because whatever goal you set, you need to try to meet it. Slowly, that's fine, as long as you meet it.
Well, some of the characters in the book, what are they up to? Some of your protagonists.
Oh, the protagonist, like I said, Aurora. And then I have Lizzie. She's a fun character. I call her my boho girl.
What is a boho girl? Should I be asking that on?
Yeah. She loves fun and laughter. She brings joy to the team. She
Like
kids around. Pardon?
Like a cheerleader, maybe?
Could be. Yeah, she is. All three are good cheerleaders. They encourage each other very much.
There you go.
So that is another lesson you learn in there too. We must celebrate the experiences to get to their goal, no matter how small they are. And then we have Lance, my scientist. He's curious, loves to study bugs and any kind of question that they have that deals with science, they call Lance to help them out. And there he is, and he will study them. He loves to collect soil samples from space and study that too. Saving Earth is actually my first Ruby Warriors. First attempt at writing a book for children. Oh, wow. And then the other one is The Epic Journey to Space. Yes, the second one. So these three guys are my protagonists. And
what are some of the adventures that are taking place? Where's the setting set for the book and the scenarios?
Okay. Earth is a parallel world to Earth. If you notice, Earth is Earth without the E. RTH.
There's no E's in that world?
So anyway, it closely resembles Earth. Our Earth. However, the fantasy world building comes in because of the other beings that live there. Elves, trolls, and huge spiders.
Huge spiders?
Yeah.
What do you do if I'm afraid of spiders?
That's me. That's why I have that.
I suppose that's maybe a good way to overcome that fear is familiarization. Yeah. So you guys go on this adventure now. Do you have this as a series, right? There's 2 books in the series so far.
Yes.
And then what are the do you have a future for this? Some people just do 3 as a trilogy and wrap it, or some people do it's unlimited. What is your vision that you have right now?
I've started on the 3rd book, and I would like to, I'm not sure if I want to write any more books in this level, because I really need to write some for the 3rd and 4th grade. Too.
And what age group is these series of books for?
This is a high 4th grade, 5th grade. Okay? Please don't just assume that if you're a 4th grader, you need to be reading at a 4th grade level. That's not true. Okay? Just don't assume that. Read where you're comfortable.
Okay.
You're reading for fun, but yet you're reading for learning too, lifelong learning.
Yeah. So, and you have a lot of grandkids and I believe great-grandkids, I think.
I have 3 grandkids. Two are adults. One is going to be graduating from high school this year. And I think he wants to go in the Navy, he's told me. So he is the one that was with me a lot when he was growing up. So I'm very attached to him too. And then I have 2 great grandchildren, both boys, Elijah and Hunter. And Hunter loves to do puzzles, and he doesn't mind reading. He's my reluctant reader, I say.
Reluctant reader. You don't read your books, right?
I haven't. Yeah, the ones that I made for the younger kids, he does. And we read it together. So they're young, so
now,
they
this
love
is something
to spend time.
So would you categorize their environment as like a science fiction environment, like space-ish, or I can see some different like spacesuits and different things on the cover?
Yes, that is book 2. That's a different one, Epic.
Okay.
Yes, here they're taking, once they get into Earth, they're told the truth about their birthright. all three children are royalty.
Mm.
They love that. And so once they go on into space, yeah, you get all these different, they are hit by debris, the actions, befall them. So they overcome it and move on. So, yeah.
Wow. You've got pretty much a, what would you call it? A focus group with all your grandchildren and great grandchildren, where you can test run different stories and books by them and stuff like that. Plus, you spent many years as an educator dedicated to nurturing young minds. So how has some of that background that you have influenced the way you approach storytelling? You got a great test kitchen too, where you can be like, hey, do you guys like this story? And if they really love it, then you can turn it into a book.
Actually, my inspiration for writing Ruby Warriors is for my middle grade children. I'm a middle school teacher, so with my middle grade children, because from my experience, I noticed that children can be 2 to 3 years behind their grade level.
Mm.
So I don't leave these children behind. I make sure to show them how to select books. And very easy. 5, if they get a nice paragraph or 100 words in a page, they have to read it all and close one finger every time they couldn't say a word, pronounce a word, didn't know a word, didn't know how to sound it. They had to close a finger. So if 5 of them are closed and you are a fifth, that book is not for you. Many of my kids learned to do that, and I was happy about that. Maybe they didn't read that in the classroom because some of them were embarrassed, but they did it at home, and I had children who increased their progress by two grade levels. So that's a win-win. That's a celebration. They've made progress. And I would let them know right away. And when I looked at the students I had, and I picked all the students I had, did a 3-year study kind of thing. I looked at all the grades they had done in the state tests. And I noticed that these kids of mine all made progress. Were they perfect and come to grade level? No. Some of them did.
Oh.
But many of them moved up a grade level.
Wow.
So I was really happy. And it's so important that in kindergarten, they get the best education with the letters, sounding letters, that sort of thing. When I taught kindergarten, all my kids went to first grade reading.
Mm-hmm.
Reading, and people were surprised. You don't usually get 100% going into another grade reading.
Yeah.
But that was my mission, to make sure they read.
Yeah.
And I had several things in my classroom to give them a chance to put up their names to show that they're making progress. So they love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it important to you, or what are the benefits of teaching kids to read and make sure they can read well, and then giving them stories like this that can help seed a garden for their imagination?
It's important to me, very important to me, that all children have an opportunity to have a book in hand that they can read. And I believe that all children can learn. They have to find their special book now so that they can read. I have 2 different kinds of readers. One are the students who are lagging behind for whatever reason. They must have missed kindergarten, or they must not have caught all the teachings there, must have been absent a lot. And 2, I have my reluctant readers, I call them. Because as they get older, their books get thicker and thicker.
That's true.
And they can't finish it. They hold on to it, and they can't finish it. So instead of struggling through that, I'll tell them, get a shorter book, get a shorter book. So this is why I am writing short books at developmentally appropriate grade level books.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they can read it and not worry about it. They can finish it in a weekend.
Yeah.
They can and move on.
Yeah, because they like to master stuff, so they repeat a lot of stuff. They'll watch the same video, read the same book over, and then you want it quick and easy. So you're not trying to I can't imagine trying to read War and Peace when I was a first grader, or now actually. But yeah, you got to get them started right, and they've got such short attention spans too at that age because everything's new. It's a wonderful place to be in life. You get old, you're just like, I've seen that 50 times. But no, and then the great thing is these books give a great opportunity for parents to read to their children, and we're big proponents on that on the Chris Voss Show. Reading to your children, because otherwise
very important.
Yep. Otherwise they'll grow up and make it on America's Funniest Home Videos or Hold My Beer videos. I don't know why I'm picking up here. The people that, hey, watch me jump off this roof and see what happens. And you're like, yeah, it's not going to end well. But you don't want to end them like that. So are you going to just cap this series at the 2 books then? And
no, I have one more book coming out.
Okay.
Okay.
And is that
probably
in the
end
series?
of the year? Pardon?
Is that in the series?
Yes, that's in the series. And I need to think this through and see if I want to write Ruby Warriors for 3rd and 4th grade or 2nd through 4th and have different. It'll be shorter than this, but the kids will read it. That's my goal. I want them to read it. Yeah. And
you want the whole world to read. I think you were telling me something before we started about how your goal is to dominate the world with your books or something like that. Give us your version. I'm having some fun with it.
Okay. Actually, I want everyone, even adults globally, to pick up a book. My book is great, but if they want to pick another book, that's fine too. The main thing is they must enjoy. It's the joy of reading.
Yeah.
And finishing what you started and understanding what the theme of the book was and what did they take away from that book. That's why it's important. And this crosses all cultural levels. We celebrate differences because when we go into art, we see all these different cultures. But they're all beings. I'm talking about the aliens and the other beings that are there, how the Ruby Warriors respect them and are friends with them. So I want them to see that it's no different here in the present to bond with friendships. Different cultures, it doesn't matter who it is, you need to reach out.
Yeah. There's so many great experiences that you can have. There's so many great things you can learn from other people. Being open-minded, growing up with tolerance and being able to, was it Abraham Lincoln? He had this saying that said, encapsulated, he said, I don't like that man. He was speaking about another politician. And he said, so I'm going to get to know him better.
That's right.
It was a great way to say, I want to learn about people. That's why I love doing this show for audiences. I love learning about people. Everybody comes on the show and brings me different perspectives, different data. Even if they tell me something I already know, usually they have a perspective or spin on it that maybe I haven't looked at it from that angle. And they deepen my knowledge of stuff. There's so much you can learn when you have your mind open. When you're closed off to certain people or other biases and I don't want to hear what that person's about. But people have great stories and great journeys in life. And I think learning that from a young age, that you learn that there's this vibrant world of stories and educations. And people are interesting. The choices they make, the things they choose to do. It's always curious to me because I don't maybe do what they do. And I'm like, oh, what made you want to do that? And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Maybe I should have done that. I don't know. It's fun. And so you get to live through some different lives too when you read books.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now you've got your other 4 books. They're children's books. Do we want to maybe talk a little bit about some of them?
I have Billy Visits the North Pole, a fun book for Christmas. And then I have Bella's Visit to the Singapore Botanical Gardens. This was basically about the environment. Check your environment and don't break any of the flowers, pick them up, and keep your environment. Play all you want in your environment, but don't destroy your environment.
Yeah.
Then I have, one more. This is for real young children. I can't remember it now, but they go on, Mama, may I go play? Yes, but don't go too far. Okay, Mama. And this is repeated every time. And as you go, they invite another friend, and another friend asks Mama the same thing. Mama, may I go? Okay, but don't go too far. And the children go, okay, Mama. And why this repetition? Children from a very young age, birth on, you can read this to them, and the toddlers will repeat this. As soon as it comes to that, they'll go, Mama, may I go and play? And then they will also say what Mama says. You may, but don't go too far.
Don't go too far.
Okay, Mama. So this is a fun book for the younger ones. And I loved doing that, but that was a difficult book to do. I know it's a very short book. It's for very young children, toddlers. But believe it or not, writing for toddlers is very difficult, because if you're going to have something like that, you need to be really not be wordy. You got to be very precise. You got to use words maybe they're familiar with in their environment. And you always, children always love repetitive books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 3, 4 years old.
That's how they learn, is by repetition.
Yes.
Repetition is the mother of all mastery, as
yes.
Anthony Robbins would say.
Yeah, and we have nursery rhymes. The best way to learn. You're listening to the sounds. This is a major thing that I love to teach children, the nursery rhymes. And they hear the words and the repetition, and they pick it up really fast. And so that put with what they're learning with the alphabet, we have a winner.
We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much the ages group's the same on all 4 of their books.
The 2 books, Ruby Warriors, okay, they can be for 5th grade on up, okay, because that is pretty much written. They say that the newspaper is written at a 5th grade level. I'm not sure, but that's what the average person they found reads at a 5th grade level. And so that's a 5th grade book, but it doesn't mean that only 5th graders should read it. If there's a 6th grader who's struggling, pick up that book. 7th grader who's struggling, pick up that book. Because once you learn these words and move on, you will start reading developmentally appropriate books for your age group. Eventually, you will come and level up. But right now, you're back here. So you need to go slowly.
Slowly.
So I teach children from where they're at, not from what they tell me to teach them to do and go from there. I never teach middle of the road and go on. I don't teach just the average kid and move on, because I'm leaving a whole bunch of kids behind.
Oh.
And then there's the other end. There are maybe a couple of kids who learn the higher learning level kids. I can't forget them.
Yeah.
But that really wears me out, because I have to prepare for these kids here, these children here, and those children there. I've done it, and yeah, it wears you down, but I love it. I want them to learn.
Yeah. The great thing about teachers, my mom was a teacher for about 20 years or so. My sister was a teacher. You guys really changed the world. And you see it too when people approach my mom and at the store and be like, oh, Mrs. Voss. Either she taught them or maybe she taught someone in their family and they knew her from school. And it's just amazing how people come up and I wish I would bump into my some teachers, but I always live in different states than I grew up in. It feels like I do that on purpose to avoid them.
Are you?
Some of them, I probably wasn't the best kid in class, and so I probably am avoiding them because they probably have hitmen out for me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure they're wonderful, but no, teachers really changed the world, and I've seen people talk about how much the impact that my mom made in their lives and stuff. And it's just, we need more teachers. We need more people, helping, especially at a young age. When you're at that age, you're so volatile, insecure. You're trying to figure out who you are. There's this big bad world and all sorts of weird stuff is happening. And you're trying to find a place in it and understand it. And it can be overwhelming. And so having someone that teaches, having someone that helps you can just make all the difference in the world. So, yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. I've had parents, bump into me and praise me for what I've done for their kids. And it feels good. It's rewarding. And I've had kids who come in. And I had a high schooler praise me a few times, and then he bumped into me at McDonald's with my husband, and he told my husband, "Your wife changed my life."
Wow. That is wonderful.
I was really happy. And then I had a child when I was in a Mexican restaurant. He was all grown up and tall, but I thought, he looks familiar. And he came up to me and he said, "I am so sorry for being a rotten kid in your classroom."
That's what I guess that's what I'm avoiding. I'm going to have to apologize.
And I told him, that's okay. We made it. You were fun to have in the classroom. And he's a smart kid and he's a missionary. So that's probably what prompted him to come up to me. I was like, oh my gosh.
Some teachers, maybe they didn't like me or I didn't like them. But sometime years later, I still had a respect for them because they put up with me, or they stood up to me sometimes and said, "We're not gonna have your little ilk in here, Chris." So you come from Malaysia, is your background.
Yes,
that carries a rich cultural notion. Were there elements of your heritage or personal experiences that influence the world building of Hearth?
Were the different beings, the culture. Because growing up in Singapore and Malaysia, it's a cosmopolitan country. So many different races. When I was growing up, I tell you, the friendship between the races was just wonderful. Kids were playing with other kids and adults. But all of a sudden, the world has changed. And it's not like that anymore. And I'm so sad because, like I said, when I grew up, it was so wonderful. I had so many friends of different cultures. And in Malaysia, it's like a tradition that I celebrate Christmas. I'm a Christian. So when I celebrate Christmas, my friends come and visit me. So if I had 30 or 40 friends in the classroom full, they'll all come at different times, and our parents will have food for them, and they'll have them prepared in the morning at 5 o'clock and have it all the way till about 7.
Oh, wow.
And so when they have their Deepavali, then I return the gesture by going there.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and Chinese New Year, when you go visit them, they give you a red packet, which is called ang pao. And inside that red packet, they put money in it.
Definitely going that one.
Yeah.
So is Malaysia, is that part of, do they have a Chinese holiday there? Is that?
We have the Malays, okay. And they celebrate Ramadan and then,
I like having all those holidays because then you're just partying all year round.
I know.
Only problem is you're probably eating all year long and all those parties. So.
It's more eating than drinking because they don't really serve alcohol.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
I can only do Thanksgiving once a year. And then I have to spend the rest of the year working it off, all that food.
Yeah. Malays celebrate Hari. The Indians, who are Hindus, celebrate Deepavali. Those who
sounds
are
like a full schedule, man. I never have to. I could just party all year round down there.
Yeah. Christmas and that's a lot.
Yeah, I'm moving to Malaysia. There you go.
They don't. I don't know if they do it anymore, but
yeah.
That's why I said the world has changed.
It really has.
Much.
I think isn't Malaysia the one under military control now and the issues?
I didn't hear that.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different country that is like Malaysia. So I may not be right on that. I'm just kind of
it could be.
See, stories like the ones you write often reflect real struggles in symbolic ways. Tell us about the Marauders and the challenges faced on Earth to represent real fears or obstacles young people face.
They were once citizens of Earth, but Prince Raj, he did not agree with his brother's way of running the country. And he didn't like that his brother gave him a job, but would oversee and make sure that the job was done right. That is not a problem, shouldn't be a problem. But for Raju, it was. He wanted things his way. He wanted to run everything his way. So then he gathered several people who were dissidents too, and they moved to space. And he lived somewhere out in space with his family, his wife and son. But they come back to get some precious metals that they can melt and use as fuels. So they need Earth. They come back for food. See, these guys are pirates and all that, and they really don't bother to see if they can grow their own vegetable and fruit garden.
So they just steal it?
They come and steal it.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, because Earth provides the two communities in space food. Pantry food and like rice and things like that, they take it to space. So when the Marauders take it, they're taking it out of the mouths of these people who live in these two colonies. That's why we had to take him down.
Got to take them down.
Yeah.
As we round out the future of the books, do you have a date on the forthcoming works that you were talking about? I think you were talking about maybe doing another book. Any timelines?
I am writing right now, so I have a lot to figure out how to write. And again, it's not a book I can just write and let it go. I have to make sure the words are appropriate for the kids.
All right.
And so it's a bit, like I said, doing the kids' book, being precise, language-wise. So then I have to send it to an editor and have the covers made. That's all in the works. But I have 7 more books. It's just that doing these books with editors and everything else costs money. So, there's a halt on those books. Yeah. And I've got Joseph and Goliath coming out, story for very little.
Oh, really?
Children.
Joseph and Goliath. Now, is that kind of set around?
I'm sorry, not Joseph and Goliath.
David?
David and Goliath.
David and Goliath. There you go. Throw Joseph in there. He can be the sidekick to David,
in the mix.
right? Yeah, he's like the Han Solo to Luke Skywalker.
That's right.
Luke Skywalker, David, or something, and then go up against Goliath. You gotta have somebody hand the rocks to David so that he can do the. What was the thing called, the slingshot?
Yes, slingshot. Yeah, my struggle in writing some of these books is the humor. I wish I could do a lot more humor in these books, but I think I'm a serious person. I don't know. So humor doesn't come very easily to me.
Really?
So, yeah.
You seem fun from the moment we picked up the line. You've been fun and you're so happy and joyful. Maybe you're better at humor than you give yourself credit for.
Thank you. What an encouragement. I will celebrate that. It will be my new superpower.
You laugh so much and you smile so much, and you're just a joy. I'll just make you psychic on the show, and you'll keep me happy on the side. But no, I'm sure there's some different scenarios and stuff. I mean, adults are hard to make laugh, especially if they're in a funk or they've got something going on or whatever. Kids are usually pretty easy. I can do a lot of jokes in front of kids and they'll laugh at me. Mostly they laugh at me because I look funny, because I'm ugly and fat, but they're still laughing. So I'll take what I can get.
I am more comfortable in front of children in a classroom than talking to adults. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, adults are kind of annoying. Kids, you can really love their imagination and the things they come up with. They come up to you and they go, "This is a spaceship." And you're like, it doesn't look like one, but it hit his head. This is a great story. Yeah. So I like kids too, as long as they're not screaming and crying around me. That's the main. I'm not a big fan of the screaming. When I go into restaurants and there's kids screaming in there, I'm like, see me someplace else. But that's probably the parents' fault. The parents, usually those kids who scream in restaurants and get out of control, those are parents who don't read to their kids. So don't be those kind of parents, folks. Order up our books today so you can keep your kids from screaming in the restaurant. So, Jay, as we round out the show, give people a final pitch out to pick up your books, your .com, and all that good stuff as we round out.
Okay. I'm not sure just say, about my .com.
Buy the books, damn it, or I'll haunt you in your sleep. That's what I do to my own. Yeah.
No. Go on a journey with Aurora, Lizzie, and Lance. Journey with them and see new places and new cultures. Learn about the new world and move on. And there's also danger. Spiders as huge as a 5-year-old.
That's not good.
I know.
I'll take a 5-year-old over spiders. As long as he's not yelling and screaming in the restaurant. Good in there.
Yeah. And Aurora, while she flies over this forest, into it. Oh, caught in a web.
Oh.
Yes. So we'll go read it to find out what happens.
Sounds like Arachnophobia, the movie 2.
Oh.
The sequel.
I can't even watch movies that have spiders or snakes. Ugh.
I can kind of do snakes as long as they're not on the movies is fine, but if they're running around me, I don't want that, and I really don't like spiders. They like to nibble on me in the middle of the night. I don't like that. Yeah. I had a spider bite the other day. Put them in a plane with you.
In a plane?
Yeah,
you're trapped.
Sounds like who's that one actor that says, he's get these mofo snakes off these planes? Maybe he needs to make a sequel. Get these mofo black widows off my plane, eh? And there's can you imagine there's all these, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies and my hair's starting to stand in, so we'll move along. I think we may have gotten your .com, but let's give it one last time as we wrap.
Okay. Where could I just put it up somewhere?
Yeah. Well, it'll be on the show, so we'll have it for you. If you want, I'll read it off for you. I've got it here. It's JayaCarmichaelAuthor.com. That's the one I was given.
Yes.
Does that sound right? Okay.
Sounds right.
Jaya, Jaya is spelled Jeya. Yes. And of course, as always, there's a link to it on the Chris Voss. You've got an Instagram, I think, too, do you?
Yes, I have Instagram. I also have Twitter, but I never used them.
Oh, okay.
And then I just went back on Facebook. For the longest time, I couldn't get in. So now I'm back in.
You're back in.
I've got Facebook. Yeah. LinkedIn.
Ah, well, that's good.
I ended it, but I'm back on LinkedIn.
I've seen some people on LinkedIn that read at a 4th grade level that are CEOs, so I don't know what that's about. So it'd be exciting to have you blossom and watch for your future works and all that sort of good stuff. So congratulations on everything you're doing. I'm glad you're making a difference in the world and the things you're doing in the world and teaching people to read and teaching people how to be better people, especially as a teacher. These are the things what's that old line? Try and leave the world a better place than when you found it. I think you're doing a wonderful job, Jaya.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really, really appreciate it.
You got it. Order up her book wherever fine books are sold, folks. There'll be also a link for that on the Chris Voss Show. Ruby Warriors, Saving Arth. That's spelled A-R-T. H. You know what's really cool about your Malaysian background is you mentioned some of the names of the characters and stuff. It seems like you're able to really wrap stuff in some cool kind of off the beaten path names, right? And I think that kind of gives them a little bit more savvy, because if everybody's named Bob and Mark, it's like, but there's kind of it kind of adds to the element of fantasy, but with those names is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Priya, Indra.
Yeah, stretch the brain.
And on my website too, they can click on it and it'll take them straight to Amazon. And they can purchase the books there.
All right. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Thanks, Honest, for tuning in. Order up her books wherever fine books are sold. And please, we always advocate, read to your children. It's super important. And for some of you that I've seen with crying kids in the restaurant, they're probably at a higher reading grade than you are. So you need all the help you can get. Anyway.
Yes. Reading to children is important. Reading along with children is also very important. So, especially if they're struggling to read along with them.
Yes. It develops them in so many ways. Yes. And that imagination, the self-esteem they can grow from having knowledge and these stories, and they can help them through so many cathartic moments. I remember reading science fiction with, I remember reading Tolkien and fantasy.
Oh, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, The Sword of Shannara comes to mind.
Oh, my son, he read the whole series of that.
Yeah, so did I. I think there's more books now, though. I think I read the first 3, and I think there's like a whole thing there. And then eventually I went to Alan Dean Foster, and I went into science fiction. But those books can change your life. And sometimes home life is a little challenging when you're growing up. Everybody's kind of adults are busy doing their things, and you're trying to figure out your place in so it's great. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss on the TikTok, and all those crazy places. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next.
You've been listening to the most amazing, intelligent podcast ever made to improve your brain and your life. Warning, consuming too much of the Chris Voss Show podcast can lead to people thinking you're smarter, younger, and irresistible sexy. Consume in regularly moderated amounts. Consult a doctor for any resulting brain bleed.